In this podcast episode, James Fox shares a deep and compelling investigation into an extraordinary extraterrestrial incident in Vargia, Brazil, involving a live alien being that was examined by a neurosurgeon named Dr. Italo. Fox discusses the complexities surrounding witness testimonies, government secrecy, and the ongoing struggle to bring these revelations to light. The episode also touches on historical UFO encounters, the moon landing debate, and the challenges faced while organizing a major disclosure event at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. James Fox recounts an unforgettable encounter with Dr. Italo, a lead neurosurgeon at Regional Hospital in Brazil, who claims to have seen and even communicated telepathically with a live alien creature in 1996. Initially slippery and evasive, Dr. Italo eventually went full Monty in revealing the encounter, describing the being as calm, content, and without malevolent intent, almost angelic in nature. Despite fearing the loss of his position and reputation, Dr. Italo broke his silence, motivated by a desire for the younger generation to know the truth. His testimony is supported by medical professionals, including 2 forensic pathologists who conducted tissue analyses on a deceased military officer linked to the case, revealing unfamiliar and highly toxic bacteria likely responsible for the officer's rapid death. Fox outlines the broader network of credible witnesses involved in this case, such as Military X, who transported the creature, and Pedro Aguiar, the former chief of police, who also saw the alien undercover at a military base. The narrative describes how the creature was first transported to a clinic but deemed unknown and unwanted, then moved to Regional Hospital where Dr. Italo was on duty. Interactions with local law enforcement, as well as the military's involvement, highlight an intricate web of secrecy and danger, with some witnesses risking lives and careers to come forward. The alien's presence triggered serious health consequences, as seen in the infected Military X, who died after contact with bacteria under the creature's nails. James Fox candidly discusses the difficulties in securing consistent cooperation from witnesses, citing Dr. Italo's evasiveness and health struggles, as well as threats faced by others involved. One moment describes the neurosurgeon carrying the weight of decades of secrecy, while others in the medical community quietly support him. Attempts to interview key witnesses were met with resistance or silence until years of persistent efforts gradually wore down barriers. Fox also touches on the hostile environment, including threats of losing jobs, intimidation from military and hospital authorities, and a network of informants and moles facilitating access to key insiders. A significant thread in the investigation was obtaining video footage allegedly showing the live creature. Dr. Italo confessed to having seen this video, but his denial later complicated matters. Fox's team sought to track down this holy grail footage, but faced numerous setbacks, including restricted access and probable government interference. To bolster the case, a Freedom of Information Act (FOIA) request was filed in 2022 to obtain U.S. Air Force flight logs connected to the incident, especially flights into Campinas and other Brazilian military sites during the timeframe. After 3 years, the CIA responded with a total denial, citing national security, further fueling suspicions of a cover-up. Fox has been deeply involved in documenting the Vargia incident through multiple films, including the newest version of Moment of Contact, New Revelations of Alien Encounters. This documentary brings together powerful testimonies from the neurosurgeon, military personnel, forensic pathologists, and police officials, presenting a rare and unprecedented narrative of extraterrestrial contact involving live beings. Despite skepticism and criticism from parts of the UFO community and mainstream media, Fox emphasizes the importance of personal relationships built with witnesses and their families, gaining their trust and support for transparency. Fox contrasts the Vargia case with other well-known incidents globally, including the Phoenix Lights and Rendlesham Forest sightings, emphasizing the rarity and credibility of first-hand contact with alien beings in captivity. He critiques the modern UFO disclosure movement centered around classified government testimony and political figures, noting the irony in public distrust of government while depending on government disclosures. He advocates for open congressional investigations that would involve witness testimonies under oath, coupled with immunity for insiders willing to share classified knowledge. James Fox shares firsthand accounts of his visits to highly secure government facilities like the Pentagon and the Air Force Office of Special Investigations, describing extreme security measures and veiled glimpses of secret UFO-related programs. He reflects on conversations with insiders who reveal that only a handful of people possess the bigger picture of UFO phenomena, and that the most concerning aspect they know about is the intent of these unknown intelligences. Fox highlights the tension between whistleblowers desiring to come forward and the institutional obstacles they face, including threats, discrediting, and career consequences. The podcast touches on Jason Sands, a controversial figure who claims involvement in secret UFO retrieval programs and contact with alien beings. Fox details the extensive vetting and background checks he conducted on Sands, acknowledging his military record's authenticity, but noting the challenges in verifying the more extraordinary claims, some of which may be influenced by PTSD or implanted memories. Fox explains the importance of distinguishing credible testimony from possible disinformation or altered perceptions, and stresses the need for ongoing, careful investigation rather than outright dismissal. Fox delves into historical government strategies to discredit and confuse UFO witnesses and investigators dating back to the Cold War. He recounts the Robertson panel's role in initiating a policy of ridicule to undermine public belief in UFOs, despite overwhelming evidence. Using the example of Paul Benowitz and the Mirage Men documentary, Fox explains how the government employed disinformation campaigns to falsely attribute secret military technology to alien origins and gaslight UFO investigators, sometimes driving them to mental breakdowns. A sizable portion of the discussion pivots to the debate surrounding the authenticity of the Apollo moon landings. Fox shares personal interactions with Apollo astronauts, especially Edgar Mitchell and Charlie Duke, recounting their vivid testimonies of lunar experiences and profound transformations. He explores inconsistencies, public denials, and cryptic comments from astronauts like Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, suggesting complexities behind the official narratives. Fox also refers to accounts of UFO sightings during the lunar missions and considers the possibility of staged or doctored footage without taking a definitive stance. As part of efforts to bring the Vargia investigation to the forefront, Fox has organized a major event scheduled for January 20th, 2026, at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. The event aims to host first-hand witnesses, doctors, military officials, and researchers who will share official statements and plead for governmental transparency and legal immunity to testify freely. Fox describes the painstaking process of securing visas and sponsorship for these individuals, many of whom were ultimately denied entry by U.S. consular services for reasons unknown, reflecting continued political resistance to full disclosure. Throughout the podcast, Fox openly discusses the personal toll of this multi-decade investigation. He shares the recent loss of his sister to multiple sclerosis, the ongoing stresses of managing international collaborations, and the immense financial challenges, including borrowing $250,000 to finance disclosure efforts. Echoing the words of his late father, Fox emphasizes the importance of perseverance despite setbacks, underscoring his deep commitment to unveiling the truth and preserving the courage of witnesses willing to risk everything. Fox speculates on the nature and origin of the entities encountered, considering interplanetary, interdimensional, and time travel explanations. He highlights the multiple phenomenological types of alien contacts reported worldwide and emphasizes that these encounters might represent a complex, multifaceted phenomenon rather than a singular event or entity. Fox expresses hope that the new generation of researchers and influencers will carry the torch forward, pushing for governmental investigation and societal understanding of what he regards as one of the most significant stories in human history.